Hello. Every day we interact with so many people. People at home, people at work, people outside of home and work like our friends, relatives, neighbors, strangers, so many. And chances are so high that we get into arguments, we disagree. Sometimes you say something or do something somebody doesn't like. Sometimes somebody says or does something you don't like. Misunderstandings are created. Issues are created. These create resentment. People get angry. People stay angry for long time. And sometimes things become so ugly that even it brings an end to the relationship. Do you like this? Of course not. Can you do something about it? Of course, yes. You can live a life without any of these issues. You can ensure that ever you get into any kind of arguments, you can end that discussion then and there. You can ensure that you never get into these kinds of fight, and if you get into these kinds of fight, it will not last more than 2, 3 or max 5 minutes. And after that, nothing stays, no grudges. It's just forget and forgive situation, and you live happy and peaceful. This is possible. I have been practicing this. For this, what do you need? You need to learn some lessons. Call them secret, call them lesson. When you learn these secrets, when you apply them in your day-to-day life, you can achieve. So this is what I'm going to share in today's video. 6 beautiful lessons along with 6 nice stories. If you practice them, I guarantee you will live a totally different kind of life. See, you can do very little about other people not being happy with you, but you can do everything for you to live happily with anybody, any relationship. From your side, it will always be a happy and peaceful living if you apply these 6 lessons that I'm going to share in today's video. My name is Pradeep Muzoomdar. Welcome to Sathvikh, my YouTube channel, and sathvikh.com, my website, where I share secrets of living healthy, wealthy and happy life. How good a health do you want? How much wealth do you want, and how much happiness do you want? You can get all that very easily without any much effort if you know the secrets. And those are the secrets. Those secrets I share at Sathvikh. So today's video, I guarantee you these 6 stories, these 6 lessons will change your life forever for better. Lesson number 1. Be non-judgmental. We have no right to judge others. In arguments, whenever we say you are wrong, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have said this, we are judging that other person to be wrong. If you learn not to judge others, I tell you, your life will be so happy, so peaceful. Listen to this beautiful story. This is during the time of Jesus Christ. A mob of men with stones in their hands was running after a woman to stone her to death, because these people had judged her to be a sinner and also decided punishment that she should be dead. At that, Jesus appeared there, and Jesus understood everything. He turned to this mob and said, "He who has never sinned may cast the first stone." Means he who has not done anything wrong should be the one who should throw the first stone, should be the first one to throw stone at this woman. And all the other men should do after this first person. So people started looking at each other because everyone knew that I have sinned, I have done wrong things, so I cannot be the first one to throw the stone. So they were looking at each other, who will be the first one. But of course, everybody had done something wrong. So they realized their mistake. Stones dropped from everybody's hands and they went back. Then Jesus turned to this woman and said, "Go and sin no more." This is such a beautiful story. If you ever find yourself telling anybody is wrong or did anything wrong, just look at yourself. Do you think you are a saint? Do you believe that you never did anything wrong? See, you will tell the other person, you will judge the other person to be wrong, the other person will judge you to be wrong. There is no end to that, and nobody is going to benefit anything out of this. So this one single lesson, I'm telling you, if you apply in so many, any time in your argument, any time, whenever you disagree with somebody, before you say that other person is wrong, before even you think that other person is wrong, just ask yourself, are you always right? Are you a saint? And you will find no reason of continuing with that argument, with that fight. So apply this lesson in your life and see how different you feel. And you'll never feel like arguing with anybody, fighting with anybody. Mother Teresa once said, if you judge people, you have no time to love them. Beautiful quote. Life is short. Let's not waste time judging people. Let's love people. Lesson number 2. Practice letting go. Things keep happening. People say or do things you don't like, and most of the time you make an issue out of that. If you learn to let go, your life will be so happy and peaceful. Listen to this beautiful story. There was a Buddhist monastery, and there was a very strict rule for the monks that they cannot have any kind of physical contact with any female. One day, a senior monk and a junior monk were returning from somewhere back to the monastery. It was a long journey on foot. As they were traveling and it was getting dark, they saw one little girl by the roadside sitting and crying. On asking, they learned that the girl was going with a group of people and she got left behind, and now she's even not able to walk because her legs are paining and it's getting dark. She was scared. The senior monk lifted the girl on his shoulder and started walking. The junior monk was so surprised, shocked, that how does the senior monk not know the rule of the monastery, that he is not supposed to even touch any female. He was expecting the senior monk to give an explanation why he was doing this, but the senior monk did not utter a word, kept walking, and when the destination of that little girl came, he dropped her off his shoulder and again started walking. This junior monk waited and waited for a discussion and explanation, which never happened. They reached the monastery. 1 day passed, 2 days passed. Now the junior monk was not even getting sleep. He was so disturbed that finally he went to the head monk and narrated the whole thing. The head monk asked the junior monk, the other day when the little girl's destination came, did the senior monk drop her off his shoulder? The junior monk said, yes, he did. The senior monk said, The senior monk dropped her off his shoulder 2 days back. Then why are you still carrying that girl on your shoulder? It is such a beautiful story. Things happen. I mean, people do things, people break rules, people do things we don't like, people do things unacceptable to us. But if we can let it go and not make an issue out of it, we can live a happy and peaceful life, a good relationship we can continue with. Otherwise, we ruin things. And some people have this habit of blowing up small things like anything. So learn this lesson. As long as the other person is not doing anything illegal, we are not discussing any illegal things in this video. We are talking of our day-to-day things that people do, which are definitely not illegal, but we don't like, unacceptable to us and all those things. If only we learn to let go all such incidences, we can live a very happy life. I am practicing these lessons, as I told you, for last few years, and trust me, I see the difference in the quality of life. On letting go, there is a beautiful quote. It says, one of the happiest moments in life is when you find courage to let go what you cannot change. Lesson number 3. Be optimist. Everything happens for good. Believe me, trust me. Everything happens for good. Most of the time, when somebody does something bad to us, we feel bad. But later on, it turns out to be good. Many a time this happens. And even if nothing turns out to be good, I'll tell you, it's for our own good, because you know why bad things happen in our life. Bad things happen in our life because of our own wrong karma. For any wrong karma that we did, we have to anyway pay for that. And how do we pay? With this. Bad things happen in our life. That's how we pay. So if bad things happen in your life, even if it doesn't turn out to be good, and if it doesn't turn out to be good, you should know that at least one good thing, that one of your wrong karmas is paid off. So be happy at least for that. Listen to this story. There was an emperor, and he had a minister very close to him, always would be very close to him, give very good advices. One day, accidentally this emperor cut his finger. The minister immediately rushed to bandage his finger, but also made a small comment that good that your finger got cut. The emperor did not understand. Why is he saying so? Then he explained, everything happens for good. And you'll see that. Later that day, the king went for hunting, and kind of he got lost, and a group of tribal people took him captive, took him with them. The tribe that day was actually performing some kind of worship where a human had to be sacrificed. And that's the reason they took this king with them to sacrifice him. When he was presented in front of the priest who was performing the worship, the priest noticed that his finger is injured, it is bleeding, and he said that this king cannot be sacrificed because he is wounded. We cannot use him for this sacrifice. So let him be set free. And the king was allowed to go. That time the king realized what that minister had said, that everything happens for good. Everything happens for a reason, everything happens for good. Most of the time you will find that, what happened, what you thought was bad, actually was for your own good. And as I told you, if you don't find anything good out of any bad thing that happened to you, at least be happy that one of your wrong karmas is paid off. So anybody says anything to you, does anything to you which you don't like, and you feel that it shouldn't have happened, anything happens, even if anybody breaks up with you, anybody causes any loss to you, damage to you, hurts your feelings, just tell yourself everything happens for good. You see, it will turn out to be good for you, and if not, at least be happy that one of your wrong karmas is paid off. Bad news is never as bad as it sounds for the first time. So many a time, something bad happens and you think, oh, it's bad. But even if it's bad, later on you realize it was definitely not as bad as you thought when you first got the news. So it's very nice. Lesson number 4, be contented. Always be happy, be satisfied with what you have, and then try for more if you want. But first be happy with whatever you have, especially in relationship. Whatever another person, look at the other person. You'll see a lot of good things in that person. You'll see that you are happy with many things about that person. You are getting many things that you want from that person, but there will be something which is not, like you're not getting from that person, you're not happy about that person. But most cases you will have a lot that you are getting and very little that you're not getting. Listen to this story. There was a kingdom that there was this one person who was very happy with his life. The king was surprised that I have this palace and with all this riches and power and authority, still I am not happy. How come this person is so happy? Everyone talks about this guy as a happy person. So this king called his one of his ministers, who was the advisor to the king, and asked the reason of this guy's happiness. This advisor said the reason he is so happy because he doesn't belong to the 99 club like all of us do. So the king did not understand that. So the advisor explained to him that, in short, if you want to see him unhappy, just give me 99 gold coins, I'll give it to him and he will become unhappy. The king absolutely got confused that how come after giving 99 gold coins to this poor person, he will become unhappy. He will become all the more happy, he thought. But as the advisor said, he gave 99 gold coins to this, to be given to this poor guy. And that's what the advisor did. He kept this 99 gold coin in a jar outside the poor man's house. Next day, when the poor man was stepping out of his house, he noticed this jar of gold coins. He took it inside, counted, found 99, and he was sure he must have made some mistake, because why would somebody leave 99 gold coins and not 100? So he counted again and again, but ultimately it turned out to be 99. So he decided that he will work hard, he will earn for one more, he will earn and save for one more gold coin and then make it 100 gold coins. And he wanted to be a happy owner of 100 gold coins. He started working very hard. Now he had no time to spend with his family, which earlier he did. He lost all his happiness, running after saving money for one more gold coin. In fact, when his wife said that actually we should start spending these gold coins and enjoy life, he said absolutely not. Far from spending even a single one, I want to add one more so that it becomes 100. So So, and then the king saw the minister was so right that the what is happening behind this, I mean, what is happening is, this is what exactly happens with most of us. We are not contented, happy, satisfied with 99. We are unhappy for that missing one. That happens in relationship also, as I told you. Anybody you're talking of, even 99% if you are happy, you don't want to enjoy that happiness because that 1% is missing. This is a beautiful lesson. If you understand this, and right from now at least, just practice this one thing. Anybody you're talking of, just ignore what is missing in that person. Just enjoy what is there, what is present. And talking of contentment, 99 and 1, there is a beautiful ghazal. It is in Hindi. I'm going to tell you this opening 2 lines of this ghazal in Hindi and then explain and translate that in English. I really love it like anything. So the ghazal goes like this. कभी किसी को मुकम्मल जहां नहीं मिलता, कहीं ज़मीं तो कहीं आसमां नहीं मिलता. The translation is, nobody finds everything at one place. Obviously, at one place where you'll find land, you'll not find sky. The other place where you find sky, you'll not find land. Land and sky, they are never together, right? Similarly, in any relationship, in anybody, if you are trying to find everything, you'll never find. You'll find most of it, but not everything. So accept people even with that missing piece. And as I told you that, you have no control over that other person, how that other person will take life as, take relationship as. But everything is in your hand, from your side. You learn to accept that other person with all the limitations, because even when we say all the limitations, in most cases it is that 99 and 1. All that is missing is 1. Lesson number 5. Understand perception. Actually, this is my favorite out of 6 lessons. Perception, what is it? We all have different experiences in our lives. Based on our experience, we form a perception for everything. Perception about right and wrong, perception about love, religion, God, anything and everything. Anything and everything. Hundreds of thousands of perceptions we have made. And this whole thing is our perception. So anytime when two people are arguing, they are just trying to prove one's own point based on one's own perception. So in short, when you find yourself into argument with anybody, you are talking based on your perception, that other person is talking based on that other person's perception, his or her perception. You can go on and on for hours, days, doesn't matter. There is never going to be a 99.9% of the chances it is not going to end in good note, because your perception, you have built your perception over decades of experience, and same with that other person. So understand this perception. There is no point arguing, all these day-to-day arguments that happen, for no point in arguing for any more than 2-3 minutes. When you find yourself getting into argument, just come out of it and forget it, because if you understand perception, you never continue with all these arguments. You'll instead end it and live a peaceful, happy and peaceful life. Listen to this story. There was one frog who lived in a well. I mean, that frog never went outside the well, never saw anything, never saw the world outside of the well. For the frog, that well in which it lived was everything. entire world, entire universe. But not far, very far from that well, there was an ocean, and one day a frog from the ocean came and got into this well, and the two frogs started talking. The frog of the well asked the other frog that, where are you from? How big is your home? Is it as big as my home, this well? So the frog of the ocean said, I am from an ocean. An ocean is very, very big, and you cannot even compare your home with my home, this well with the ocean. And then they had their, arguments. There was an argument between the two, and then the frog of the well got very angry and called that other frog a liar and asked that frog to just leave and go. So this is what happens in most cases with us. We, based on our perception, whatever we know, whatever we have experienced, we just think that is it. We are not open to listen to that other person who has a different perception, because that person has experienced something totally different than us. So when two people just argue based on one's own perception, there will be no happy ending ever. It's useless, pointless to argue. So use this lesson. Anytime you are into an argument, as I told you, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just end the argument, knowing that you know that what perception is. At least after this video, should immediately tell that I am talking from my perception and that person from his or her perception. So just forget it. It's not going to go anywhere. And see how life becomes happy, life becomes peaceful. Sixth lesson, be non-egoistic. Ego is our worst enemy. Most of the arguments, fight that we have with people is nothing but because of our ego. Both the person's ego, your ego, the other person's ego. If you can control your ego, you can achieve everything that you want. You'll definitely be happy and peaceful. Listen to this story. But before I tell this story, there is a disclaimer. This story is just a story. It is not a real story. I'm not trying to disrespect any character or religion. So the story goes like this. There was a Hindu scholar who wanted to build a Hindu university. He goes to a Mughal emperor, a Muslim emperor, and asks for donations. The Mughal emperor got very angry and throwing one of his shoes at the Hindu scholar, shouted, "How dare you ask a Mughal emperor charity for a Hindu university?" Usually a person would feel insulted out of ego. The ego would be hurt. But in this case, this Hindu scholar quietly picked up the shoe and went straight to the village market and started auctioning the emperor's shoe to raise funds. One of the ministers of this king saw that and went straight to the king and said, "This should be stopped. It is insult to you. First of all, your shoe is being auctioned in the village market, and if some ordinary person buys it, takes it to his home, that's definitely unacceptable. You should do something about it." The king agreed to that and told, "Go and get it back from him. Whatever money he asked, give him." So that's what happened, and this scholar asked for an amount which he wanted to build this university, and at that price he sold the shoe back to the emperor. So this is a beautiful story. It shows that if you can control your ego, you get everything that you want without any effort, without any serious effort. As in this case, so easily he got what he wanted. All that he had to do is all that he wanted. So when you control your ego, when you keep your ego under control, what happens? Your mind becomes clear. You think very clearly. You get idea. You get solution to problem. But in our day-to-day life, exactly opposite happens. Our ego takes over the charge, and obviously then the mind will not work. You will not get correct answer, solution to your problem, and when it comes to relationship, the ego is what that fights, not your clear mind. So if you understand this lesson, if you learn how to control the ego, then you'll achieve a lot. You'll achieve everything, and definitely you'll live a happy and peaceful life. So make use of this lesson, practice this lesson, and see, if people throw bricks at you, you may either throw the bricks back at them, or you can build a house with those bricks. So if you practice these 6 lessons, that is, be non-judgmental, let go, be optimistic, be contented, understand the other person's perception, and be non-egoistic, you see, you will never be in any argument, any fight for any more than 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. That's the max. And even after that, you will not carry any grudge. You know how easy it is to just forget and forgive and move on. I have practiced this and I have seen the difference in my happiness, peace of mind. When I did not practice this, when I, like most other people, would argue for long time and then hold on to that anger, that was a totally different life. When you adopt this new life that I am talking of, where you apply these secrets, be understanding, and just absolutely openly say, no, I don't want to argue. It's already 2 minutes, 3 minutes we are talking on this. This is not going to take us anywhere. Where you see the difference. Even the other person you are arguing with will be surprised that what are you talking? Yeah, that's a different life altogether. And I want you to experience this new life. Experience love, happiness, peace. For that you need to understand these 6 lessons, apply them in your day-to-day life and see the difference. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel and press that notification button. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.